All right, Shalom. The brother Shaman from Great Millstone St. Louis camp. Just looking at an article, man. It's kind of old, but it's a couple more too that line up with this one. I think I remember a brother actually bringing this out, but it's for edification. I'm gonna bring it out again. Yeah, they got this guy, 26 years old. He was shot 15 times. San Juan, I believe it's in Puerto Rico. And they buried, and for his funeral service, they put a polo on him, put some Jordans on him. They sat him up, put some Ray-Bans or whatever. And they say it's a cigarette, but it looked like a blunt to me. And this is the treatment. This is an Ephraimite, of course, but this is the treatment that we think, or that these people think is respecting and honoring his spirit, to dress him up like a nigga and then put him on display for everybody to see, sitting up with his fucking eyes open, with his no soul in his body. This is fucking sick. Yeah. And this is a wicked and perverse spirit, man. For you to even have the idea to do some shit like this. Look, they got a Nike shoe up, rather than putting his face when he was alive. This is sick, man. And our people have completely gone away from order. Have completely gone away. This is madness from the law, statute, commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. This is complete madness. And this is another look at this shit too in the advertisement section. You got more folly, man. Folly is set up in great dignity. They really did this and put this dude up, making him look like a fucking fool. Like one of these damn you go to certain stores, they got the model with the clothes on, and it's not alive. It just looks completely ridiculous. And you got another one. Slaying team propped in front of TV as he's displayed in funeral home. He loved his PlayStation and watching his favorite basketball team. Another one. And he's black or whatever, I believe. So he would be considered a Judite. And in the ancient world, when somebody died, just to clarify things, in Egypt and some of these other places, Babylon, Assyria, they believe when you died, you go to the land of the dead. And that's why they embalmed you, right? Which keeps the body from breaking down longer. Put bandages over you. They put gold, frankincense, myrrh, wine. They might put some expensive oils, some black seed oil, or some more different type of expensive oils. They might even kill one of your favorite dogs, or they might even kill one of your wives, and put them next to you in a tomb, or put you both in the same tomb. Or maybe they cut out your organs and put them in different jars. That's what they did in Egypt. They had canopic jars with your organs and preservatives, so they were preserved. But when you die and you leave this earth, like the scriptures say, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, your spirit goes back to the spiritual realm, to the so-called one of the heavens. And you go and you rest with the Father. So there's no need. In the ancient world, what they would do, you would be buried. And if people weren't buried, just like Saul, right? Saul, him and his sons, their heads were cut off, and then later on, when they got the bodies, they buried them all together. Or then, later on, they saw that the bones were kind of a spiritual thing, so they would burn the body and they would put your bones in the tomb. And then you had the tombs of the different kings throughout Israel, and you had certain wicked kings who weren't even allowed to be placed in the tomb because they were so wicked. And so, burial, or once again, the Lord, he was placed in the tomb. Burial or being put in the tomb. But all of this, showing off the body, and look at this. This dude, I believe, is an Issacharite. They actually propped him up, and they got people touching him, and that's considered unclean by the law. The body, I believe. Let me get that. So like, all right, I'm jumping right to it. This is Numbers 19:11. Dead body of any man shall be unclean 7 days. And you see, you got these weirdos. It would have had to touch him to put his hands in different positions, and here you got another one, a dead woman, sitting up looking demonic and retorted, like they're still alive. The person is gone, they're dead. Look at this shit. This is completely fucking demonic and wicked and paganistic. Look, they got this dude playing dominoes. They got his family touching him. Completely void of understanding because the emotion. Making it, man, this is sick. And they got people at, man, God, man. They got this dude on a motorcycle. Oh, wow. Another Puerto Rican man dressed up as Green Lantern in the corner. And of course, you got the regular. And this is how our people supposedly honor somebody. And this is, once again, man, this is demonic. I got this guy, look, he got a jersey on, he got food, which he can't eat, he's dead, with a controller in his hand. Man, I'm just hop into the scriptures, man. This is fucked up. He that touches the dead body of any man should be unclean 7 days. Being unclean, you couldn't go into the temple. That's why being unclean and clean was so, you couldn't go into the temple and sacrifice burnt offerings for your sins. That's why being unclean was so important. He shall purify himself with it on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day he shall be clean. But if he purified not himself the 3rd day, then the 7th day he shall not be clean. I'm going to read that again. He shall purify himself with it on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day he shall be clean. But if he purified not himself the 3rd day, then the 7th day he shall not be clean. Whosoever touches the dead body of any man that is dead, and purified not himself, which to purify yourself you have to have running water, defileth soap, of course, defileth the tabernacle of the Lord, and that soul shall be cut off from Israel, because the water of separation was not sprinkled upon him. He shall be unclean, his uncleanliness is yet upon him. Yeah, because like they say, cleanliness is next to godliness. Our people were very clean. We were very unlike these other tribes and these other peoples who, they just let dead bodies lie, or they let them lie in the water or whatever. We were very clean about, skin, about death, like it says here, about waste removal, blood, all of that stuff. We were very clean and you know, because we had to do offerings and all this other stuff. It was given to us how to do this stuff. You know, looking at a house and you have mold in a house, you know, and if the mold returns, you have to destroy the house. All these different laws of cleanliness, and our people are completely void of understanding, because you have these dead bodies sitting around like this. They got all this shit building up in them. They got, you know, the body starts breaking down. Even if you give them, even if you put certain things to preservatives in the body starts breaking down. And that's when sickness and disease start to come, and the different things that these pagan rituals cause sickness and destruction. This is the law, right? I did that one. Skipping down. Oh no, this is a different one. This is the law when a man dieth in a tent, all that come into the tent and all that is in the tent shall be unclean 7 days. And every open vessel which hath no covering bound upon it is unclean. And whosoever toucheth one that is slain with a sword in the open fields, or a dead body, or a bone of a man, or a grave, shall be unclean 7 days. And for an unclean person they shall take of the ashes of the burnt heifer of purification for sin, and running water shall be put thereinto in a vessel. And a clean person shall take hyssop and dip it into the water, and sprinkle it upon the tent, and upon all the vessels, and upon all the persons that were there, and upon him that touched a bone, or one slain, or one dead, or a grave. Yeah, because hyssop, yeah, a plant used for medicinal and religious purposes. Look, that I believe this is the one that has antibacterial. Okay, so I just jumped to hyssop. Hyssop is a member of the mint family. And scrolling down, they use it often as a cough, cold remedy, loosens up mucus, use it against flu, sinus issues, bronchitis. Right, so this is kind of it's got antibacterial effects to it. It's kind of like lavender, kind of. Yeah, it's kind of like lavender. Matter of fact, I believe this is lavender. Or in the same family as lavender. Yep. But jumping back, it's pretty much it's kind of like lavender. It's got antibacterial, antimicrobial things, because they use a lot of oils in the ancient world to keep themselves clean. Because they were in the wilderness, you know, you couldn't necessarily get soap, because a lot of soaps are made using gelatin. They're made using pork. But back to the point, clean person shall take hyssop, dip it in the water, and sprinkle it upon the tent, and upon all the vessels, and upon the persons that were there, and upon him that toucheth a bone, or one slain, or one dead, or a grave. And the clean person shall sprinkle upon the unclean on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day, and on the 7th day he shall purify himself, and wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and shall be clean at even. Excuse me. It's a lot. It's a damn fly. That's how that's one of the ways you know you're an Israelite. You know, you walk in the room, there's a fly in there. You're like, oh shit, that's your main focus. You know, because we're clean people. Whereas these heathens, they'll have flies all around them, crawling all over him, oh, it's just a fly. That's a sign you're a heathen if you know that kind of shit doesn't offend you. All right, then it says what? But the man that shall be unclean and shall not purify himself, that soul shall be cut off from among the congregation, because he have defiled the sanctuary of the Lord. The water of separation hath not been sprinkled upon him. He is unclean. There you go. And then it goes on to say, whatsoever the unclean person touches shall be unclean, and the soul that touches it shall be unclean until even. So there you go. Hey, so basically, man, that's why we when somebody died, they rushed the body to get into the ground or the tomb. Point blank, period. You tried to get it the same day that person died before the sun went down. That's what you tried to bury that person, because you know you didn't want that risk of somebody becoming unclean by having contact with that person. Just like it says here, Genesis 3:19, in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return unto the ground, for out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. And the elements of the human body, you're going to see the same elements that in the earth. So there you go. It's plain and simple. I'm going to just jump straight to the end, because I got a few scriptures, but I just want to jump straight to this point. Deuteronomy 32:5, they have corrupted themselves. Their spot is not the spot of his children. They are perverse and crooked generation. Yeah, these people, which I see a lot of Ephraimites, these people are crooked and perverse for doing this. And where did they get the practice for burial from? Even though this is wicked, they got it from Esau. They got it from Esau. Sitting somebody up to like they're looking at you, they're fucking dead. Man. It's Isaiah 19:17. This whole chapter is excellent. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 11. Surely the princes of Zoan are fools. Zoan is a city up in the Nile Delta near Egypt. One of those smaller cities near Egypt. So they're basically Egyptians. The counsel of wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings? Where are they now? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord of hosts hath purposed unto Egypt. The princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Noph are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the stay of the tribes thereof. The Most High hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. That's right. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. And that's exactly right. And the day he's talking about, this day, and the land of Judah shall be a terror upon Egypt, even one that make mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he have determined it. Hey, and you know, Egypt was destroyed, and it's going to be destroyed again. And it's going to continue to be destroyed. Oh, excuse me. This is going to be the last. This is basically the last hurrah, because this place we're in America, it's Egypt, it's Assyria, it's Babylon, it's Sodom, it's Nineveh, it's all these wicked places. The Lord sent his prophets to prophesy and downfall. Esau went into all these other philosophies, including the other nations as well. Ishmael, Elam, all these different other places who do these customs. Like it says, man, this is a strange spirit that's been mingled here. So the Lord has to cleanse, he has to destroy this place, and he always did. and he's going to do it again. And when you look at history, when they try to explain, because the Bible gives account for why these different places were destroyed, when you go to history, when they try to account for why these places were destroyed or they just didn't rise up again, none of the historians give a good answer for why these places were taken out. But the scriptures tell you right here what happened, because they did not heed what the Lord told them to do, and they oppressed the Israelites. But really the Lord used them to oppress the Israelites. But ultimately the Lord destroyed these places because they were wicked. Just another example. This is Harry Potter. This is a book, came out when I was younger, and my mother, being her foolish, well, her mind was in the way of this world, but she bought me this shit basically. I wasn't too into it. I did read it, but at the end of the day, it's witchcraft. And you have 500 million Harry Potter books sold worldwide. You had the movies come out. Millions of people went to go see the movies. And it's all about witchcraft. It's all about sorcery, witchcraft. Basically, they're introducing you to some of the basics of the occult. They have little in the school that they take the dude to, just to give you a brief synopsis on it. They take him to a school. Witches instruct him on how to do witchcraft and how to do all these different things. And he's got these different classes. He's got one where they teach him how to make potions. You got another where they teach him about the dark arts, the dark magic, and all this shit. So it's all wickedness. It's all wickedness, and this place has to be destroyed, man. Point blank, period. There should be no reason for any shit like this. There should be no reason people are dead, and they're just sitting there, and you got people walking up and touching them and feeling them. There should be no reason for that. None whatsoever. And this is something that's got to go, man. All praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. I hope this lesson was edifying. This is completely perverse. We got to get out of here. That's why I continue to push, continue to pray. Shalom.